Okay.
Alright, so a project we're going to do is mount a couple of hydronic solar panels on this south wall of the garage. And the idea is that when the sun heats that, it's going to heat the water, and I'm going to circulate that hot water inside the garage. That'll heat the garage. I made this kind of shelf, and we're going to mount this shelf to the foundation and then put the solar panels on top of it. So let me show you how we built it. It's built out of 4 pieces of 5/4 by 6 pressure treated, and then we got some of these anchors that we put in to the wall and some screws. So a little under 40 bucks in material to do this. Originally I wanted to do it out of an angle iron, but it was over $300 to buy the angle iron, and a 5" by 5" angle iron. So I said, nah, I'll make it. It may not last as long, but I'm pretty sure it's going to do okay. So let's look at how we're installing this. First off, these are the simple anchors. These are just a 5" long by 3/8 split anchor. As you tighten this, the bottom wedges inside the concrete. I got my dad helping me. And we actually have this at a little bit of a slope. So this will be the high side, and it'll slope down to the right, because when you mount the solar panels, I don't know yet if I'm going to do a glycol based system or drain back system, but by putting a little bit of slope in, it gives me that option. I can decide later. And we'll shimmy it up the wall. Bolt it from underneath and bolt it at the top. Now, as you can see, this is a 10-foot panel, and we have a 2-foot overhang, so there's going to be part of this panel in the shade. So this is not ideal. I thought about dropping the panel and mounting it lower so the top would be in full sun. The problem is that if I did that, where I'd run the pipe in, I'd have to core through the concrete. I didn't want to do that. Now, if you were paying retail for these, having part of it in the shade would just be throwing your money out. But I got these off a roof, and the homeowner didn't want them anymore. He was going to trash them. The roofer didn't want to touch them. And so I took them off for free, but they were working. So I know that they're not leaking. Yeah, so let's bolt this up. So I have the bolts coming through the bottom right here, and we'll add the washer, lock washer. Alright, so we got the panels mounted. As you can see, they go all the way up to the soffit. The top portion, I had to cut these little aluminum angles that I have to bracket it to the wall. I had to cut them a little shy in order to fit them over the bolt. All the bolts are stainless steel nuts. We got it bolted at the bottom, bolted at the top, and then it's screwed into the wall, to the top plate of the wall. So it's not just in the sheathing, it's also in the solid framing lumber behind that. Now the bottom, I had to get it at a certain height. You'll notice these spacers, right? I had to lift the panels a certain amount because over on this side, which is the low side, I'm going to have this angle in and go into the wall to tie back in to the plumbing inside the building. I didn't want this to hit the sill plate, so I had to get a certain height, and I've got that. So everything just barely fit in the whole project, which you know, was luck. It wasn't planned that way. When I originally planned out putting some solar panels on this south wall, I was thinking of getting 8-foot panels, but the opportunity came to grab these off somebody's roof for free, but now it's out of the garage and frees up more space.